holds value. Listen up. Every word holds value. Listen up. Every word holds value. Every word holds value. Listen up. Every word holds value. Listen up. Every word holds value.
Sometimes you immediately can transition to plan B. It's not going to be a failure because you shot for the moon and now you're amongst the stars.
And
like,
so, I honestly rock with that, right? And so, you shoot for the moon, you're amongst the stars. Shout out Beanie Siegel. But like, do everybody feel like that in that moment? Because I think it's a nice thing to say. Yeah, I never felt in life. I just learned. I just gained intel. There's even like a quote that I came up with that says like, there's no L's, only intel. Meaning you learn from, what your mistake was.
Right.
But like, are we as a society really like that resilient? Like when it comes to matters and shit? Because like, I don't know. It's just so many, like, going back to the people watching thing, like I see so many people that's broken.
right.
Like, so if it was really like, yo, I just learned from this and learned from this, then like out here, like, why is there so many people just in that state then? Like, you know what I mean? If it's all just knowledge that we gain from each situation that we in.
So to whose narrative and to what we, again, value successful individual ourselves, or what you may feel somebody else potential is that they not getting to say they failing. A person might be the best person at doing that, and they not doing that. They working here, and Dave might feel like I don't have the stress of what you think that is, but I can take care of my family. Oh, you just sitting here working the shot right. But man, you could be making this and doing this, man. I don't want to. The headache of having to think at all these moving parts when I could just relax and do this. Everybody don't want to be a boss every fucking minute of the day because you got to think for everybody. Right. You got to think for everybody. That shit gets exhausted.
It's
like it just do.
You know what I mean? What like you said, what we feel like other people's success or failures, or you know what I mean, where they good, where they could be strong or weak, but ultimately it comes down to the individual, like you was kind of talking about, like the individual, man. We gotta kind of tap into ourselves, and we gotta know, like, damn, I could push forward. But I think in general, it could be a United States thing. I think we just are all like easily, you know what I mean? What's the word when you just complacent? I think we are complacent.
You kind of get to a spot and you just feel like you made it.
Yeah, just in general, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you got them few alphas with the Mamba mentality kind of energy, like that's just gonna be excel above the rest. You know what I mean?
And I honestly,
what's complacent though, also, because that's exactly what I mean. Somebody doing something consistent can be considered as complacent, but they consistent as fuck. They excelling. They're not complacent. Right. They're excelling at this level.
No, I mean,
at being.
I mean, we're all complacent in our own individual right. Like each individual is complacent. Like,
I believe as human beings, it's in our very nature to want more. We're not about to change the words of definitions.
Okay.
Because complacency means that you're at a level and you're just comfortable and you're not trying to achieve more. So that person that's just even killed and you feel like, okay, he's excelling. All right, yeah, he's excelling to a point, but at a certain point in time, just like the human nature is want to go out and explore. It's to want to go out and conquer. It's to want to go out and achieve. So, I mean, isn't that what complacency is? When you just feel like you've had enough and you just like, all right, I'm chilling?
I don't know. Like I said, excel at one level. So like I said, somebody could be, he complacent. What? Why? Because he just keep buying a house every 5 years. That's his complacency. Like I'm at a level where I can it look like I'm chilling, but every 5 years I acquire a house. That's what I'm saying.
But
so some people being selective.
That wouldn't be complacency because you said every 5 years you're still adding more to the program.
No, but that's what I'm saying about us visualizing, observing the other person.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Like, to you, it may look like I'm being complacent because, like I said, they work in a steady job. But that's their job that fuels their ideas and their creativity. They're consistently doing this so they can excel over here. Because it's different. Like, that's what I mean. Like you said, we have a drive to do more, but you gotta some people say they had a jack of all trades, and this is something my grandfather told me. Yeah, people, they the jack of all trades, right? But they master nothing. Yeah. So sometimes it's okay to master one thing, right? Get that shit down to a science, because when we talk about it and how it go, people want to make money and they sleep, right? How you gonna master that? If you keep trying out different things.
But let me ask you this though, bro. So I've heard that saying multiple times, right, throughout life. But I also feel like when you out here trying something and you putting your hat in the ring to try to achieve this and maybe try to achieve that, you may not know what is going to stick for you. So, and this is why I'm constantly on my kids now, because they're at a point, they hard-headed. Like, they don't want to try different things. And I'm saying, look, let's get out here. Let's play baseball. Let's get out here. Let's try basketball. Let's get out here. If your school got a debate team, try to get on that. You don't know what you want to do in life. So you kind of have to try this over here, try this over here, try this over here, try this over here.
What would you label that, though? Like, to me, that's...
You self-searching. You searching.
I don't think
okay, because I'm going to go back to you said your son was talented at the level of football, right? And you want him to try another sport. Why?
No,
I'm asking why. If he's talented and can just work on that talent instead of changing the sport and be better and just become better at football. Because we just talking about in the sports aspect.
I mean, if I'm gonna break it down, right? Let's just say, so when you're a football athlete, and you know this from playing sports, there's an off season, and so what they do now is to make athletes bigger, faster, stronger, tougher. You don't play baseball all year round. Maybe in the off season, you would probably do. If you're a footballer, you would wrestle when it's the off season, and that would kind of like give your football muscles a rest while you're in this part of the year, so you can heal up on that stuff. But you're also working on stuff, agility, strength, toughness, things that will condition you to help you be better on the field. And then maybe when the basketball season come around, you doing that. Basketball wind and basketball, I guess, like cardio is different from football cardio. Right. So when you're doing this, it's giving you a break from using those football muscles, using those fast twitch muscles while you're playing basketball. Like it all helps.
So that's what I'm saying. To you, they may figure that, but we know people like who played two sports, and we just gonna say they was better in one sport, and they would just say like Michael Jordan. You do not mention him in baseball like basketball, and then when you mention when he said, man, it's a whole different training. So if you stick to the football, I can see with the wrestling and agility, but if you ain't the QB, why is you going to pitch?
No, this is what I was saying. So I wasn't saying it from a sports standpoint. I'm saying in life.
Okay,
you gotta, because they're young men at the end of the day. So what I'm saying is try a bunch of things, and I didn't even mean to only put it on sports. That's why I mentioned debate also too.
So it's
because you gotta being content.
So
like your son is content, or he not. Maybe complacent wasn't the best word, but I think your son is content with just. I don't care for the 5 sports. I just want to do this one. Like you said, I don't want to. I think in general. We're content with where we are.
As the parent, you want him to do different things. This is what I'm saying. As the parent, you want him to grasp a lot of things to figure out what he want to know, so he can know most of everything and figure out what he want to choose, right? And I'm saying in his little heart and mind of what he know as his life is, I only need football, Dad. I know we're not saying, I'm just putting it, I only need this. It's our job to just guide in that aspect to show him different things.
That's what I was about.
But
that's what I was about to say. I feel like as the responsible adult, and I'm not speaking of.
I want to bring this point.
Okay.
Mastering something. When we talk about the masters, they only did one thing, bro. I'm just saying, think about the greats we talk about. Michael in music, boxing. They did this one thing. It could be somebody who's intelligent. They only did books. You get what I'm saying? Like they mastered the craft.
What other
So I feel like I understand what you're saying, but using a child that's 8 years old is not a good example of that.
I'm not
because
using.
when I brought it up, I was simply saying, bro, you got to get out here and you got to try different things because you don't even know what you will like. At 8 years old, he don't. 2 years ago, he said that he wanted to be Patrick Mahomes. This year, he's saying he don't even want to play football. So what I'm saying is, try some things, find out what you want to do.
And to your point, bro, a lot of those greats you talking about, also too, like if you tap into this story, a lot of them, you will hear a lot of them say, "This was all I had, boxing was all I had," or "This was all I had."
That's what they thought.
I mean, that's what they said. So whether they thought it or not, that's how they live. You know what I'm saying? But to his son's point, nah, you're gonna try different things.
I gotta
Not to say
disagree
that
with
you can't be
that.
great at one, but I don't want you content or complacent at only trying one. You might only be great at one, but you're gonna try some other stuff. Like
It's just to open up your palate because you don't know what you want to do out here.
It just so happened
I understand it, and once you learn, all I'm saying is once you learn what you want to do at any age, okay. He know I got a brother. He been rapping since 7. He's the I would put him as the fucking nicest that I know.
But you also
because he worked on his craft and everything.
But look how much other stuff he good at too.
As far as what? Art is it?
Almost any art he good with his hands too. So think about if he separated his time from music and gave it a little bit more to this or that. Think about what other career paths he could have.
No, and this is what I'm. All right, because this is just my opinion. He's great at two things, which is art, which is drawing, and rapping.
I think he's good at building.
Okay, that's art.
I think he's good with his hands.
That's what I mean. So we gonna
but I think that's a very good.
But those are two crafts he worked at. Right? He worked at building with my father throughout life and then rapping. So that's what I mean. Exactly points to what he worked at. When he built the studio with his hands to do music.
Right, but again, if he had worked at the other things, I think he would have been just as good.
Worked out, okay, because I don't.
And so I don't know what other things. I'm not in Rock's pockets or anything like that. But when you mention being nice or utilizing your skill, and you're going to do this one way, so you basically saying that a basketballer, if I'm playing basketball, that's all I should really kind of focus on.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you about to be great at it, like the Mamba was, like Kobe, he wanted to be better than Jordan. He ain't focused on no other sport. He focused at that sport and became one of the ones to be talked about.
I think to be great, I think there is a time when you're going to kind of have to isolate that craft. But that's not in a situation. That's not.
It's not early on though.
And it's definitely
look,
not.
And that's sport.
That's to your opinion. Look, and that's all I'm saying. That's your opinion. Is like saying early on. It's other people who I just named, like you said, like I named up Michael Jackson at 4 years old, who just stayed at that craft.
You saying Michael Jackson, and I disagree with that point when you said it, but we just kind of bounced on. But Michael Jackson, he's great at singing and he's great at dancing. He's a dancing motherfucker.
That was what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm telling you.
Dancing and singing is not the same thing.
No, I'm talking about the craft as a performer, Hood. That's what he worked as. He worked as his craft as a performer, Hood. That's what he did. Stage presence, singing. That's what he did.
But it's not the same thing, though.
It's not the same thing as what? He worked on the craft that he's the greatest pop star. So I don't get what you mean, Hood.
So if you
it's still two separate categories. It's still two separate categories.
Working on your craft. That's what I said.
Singing and dancing go under it. If you put him under singing, dancing don't go under it. Or if you put him under dancing, But if you put him
he's
under
one of the top best performers.
I feel like we could do that for anything. If I'm a fucking footballer, if I'm a baseballer, I'm a fucking athlete, ain't I? We can.
No.
We can. Yes, you are.
Okay.
You could come up with a word for anything.
So being athletic, so you might do sports, right? So you got them people who could do basketball, football, they could do volleyball. Everybody can't do that. Hood, everybody can't play every sport.
I'm not saying that you can play every sport. What I said was we used the term. You came up with the term that blanketed or umbrellaed what Michael Jackson's expertise was.
I said he worked
essentially-
on a craft.
Yeah. But when we was talking, we said that, well, my point was he's great in 2 fields. He's great as a singer and he's great as a dancer.
And I said that equals performing. That's all I said.
And
I agree with you.
performing, but that's still 2 separate jobs, though.
No, but the craft that he worked at them both simultaneously, Hood, on the microphone, dancing together, working. They showed the story. He was dancing and singing at the same time to work on that craft of performing.
So to bring it all back,
That don't make sense.
what are we saying?
Of course
about
it
the
makes
craft?
sense. But you're telling yourself if you want to be great at something, you have to isolate yourself.
In that.
That's what it seemed like you said.
If you want to if you want to master something.
Okay, master great.
Okay, yes, I do feel like I don't feel like you could do multiple things and master it at the same time. Unless you're a genius ass level.
LeBron did it.
LeBron did what?
I feel like we have.
I feel like.
I want to know.
There's countless, because LeBron was a tight end and he could have got
most-
drafted. There's a lot of like
I
Kyler
think
Murray.
he probably-
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, a lot of
Kyler
people
Murray.
You go
he got-
basketball,
he got-
football a lot, right? You
Now,
going back.
even outside
So
sports,
they was working on their him right here. We talk about he do basketball because look, they work on their bodies.
Yeah.
That's their craft. The sport is not the
But
craft.
I think even outside of sports, you're gonna find, like
I
you
just-
said, Michael Jackson didn't do sports, so for him to have two different skill sets, I think that you find a lot of people not isolated.
I think it just
and they
minimizes
great
that
and
though.
they masters, bro.
I think it just minimizes that, bro. Because I
So
feel
you don't
like-
think they put more time into what they great at than anything else?
No, that's not what we're saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm directly
No,
saying.
So now you just said that just now. Before you said you have to isolate yourself if you want to be great or like a master at
No,
something.
so what you think I meant by isolating? I meant by isolating by working on that craft.
Yeah, specifically do that only.
Okay, so okay.
That's isolation.
Like what he's saying, he's saying he
Okay,
had his son
so
do different
specifically,
things. He's saying-
I'm saying do that the most. If you're not gonna say only, I'm saying it's gonna take up most of your schedule.
At
If
some-
you mastering it,
at some point, but
if you trying to level up in it and master it,
Yeah.
at
so-
some point- so
I think this conversation, so we kind of got off of what the initial complacency and being a jack of all trades, master of none. Right. And so because when I brought up the example of using my kids to say, I didn't think it was to derail like the whole everything. When I brought up my kids, it was simply just to say that they're young right now. I don't want them just to sit back and not try nothing, to play the video game all day because that's what you feel like you want to do right now. I'm feeling like, all right, as a young man, you have to get out here and you have to experience different things. And you went into, okay, you got to be great. You got to lock yourself in the gym and just only shoot hoops. Right. All right, yeah. That's cool for that person who have that path. But what I initially said was, I think that we can put our hat in different rings because we don't know what will stick. We don't know what we will be great
I
at.
think back to my point, I think like the world is content with that. Like you said, everybody don't want to be bosses, and I think it's way more people that don't want to be bosses than trying to be bosses. You know what I mean? Like I think in general, we're just trying to do what we're told to do. Like your son just gonna go to school and he might get to a point where he might do one extra, but the rest of his peers are just gonna graduate and that's gonna be it. It might be 30% of his peers gonna go do what he wanna do extra. Like the
And that's
world
dope.
is we just trying to do the bare minimum, bro. We just trying to do enough to pass this test. I don't wanna learn this book. I'm gonna just pass this test.
Yeah, you're
I don't,
right.
I,
And
I don't really know because the things. So that's what I'm saying. Because it don't got to be sports. In school right now, they didn't have where you could get the degree from going from elementary and high school like they able to do now.
Yeah,
so
you
to
could
be
get
able
college
to,
courses.
so you have to zone out and be intelligent to do those things. Though it's not like you can be average and get that program. You have to be able to do the high school work and the college work at the same time. And in that aspect, that's what I'm saying. I guarantee those kids ain't got time to lollygag about certain things, and they're excelling with their peers. Like you said, we peers, we here. But instead of going to lollygag around and do different things, I'm gonna excel in these
But I think
books.
that's
So,
only
but
for
what
the
does that
select few. I don't
what does
think
that
that's the majority.
fundamentally mean? So you mean if I'm an
That mean-
academic, right?
Right.
If I'm an academic, then I should only focus on the books. Like, or
No.
I should mainly focus on the books.
No.
I should isolate myself from the
See,
books.
I'm saying naturally letting them be what they want to do if they're pouring their self into that also. So that's what I mean.
I think that's shit. I think that's not even a point of contention from me. I feel
No.
like if you showing strength and like fervor for something, like you really want to do this, it's like, okay, like I'm going to pour into you. I'm going to allow you to spread your wings in this because you are showing like you're showing the want to be involved in this. So I'm going to give it to you as your parent.
Right.
So I don't think that you get no pushback from me. My only thing was, yo, you got to find out what you want to do.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you got to just lock in on one thing.
So
and that's it.
so now,
Give yourself some-
because
Yeah, you got to give yourself some options.
I was
You got to
telling you, I
learn
was-
what you even want to do.
right. So when you tell them that, and they say that because we say that to sons, like I said, my son, we was talking about, he just started going to actually like real studio. He got a whole bunch of joints on his phone, right? Trying to tell him, oh, do something else. So I'm talking about when they realize what they want to do, right, and then pouring into it, right? Are you gonna say when they want to jump to ship? Is it time to jump ship? Because this is what I'm saying. They say they want to do it because this is how it go. The consistency of when you want to jump ship is when you want to don't do nothing. When you don't want to do it is when you got to put the work in. If you're trying to be great at it. So that's what I mean. Some people might look. I got 80%, just good enough, and I'm done. They good enough,
Yeah.
but they ain't the master at it.
So for me, the jumping ship is, I feel like in season we not jumping ship. Like if you feel like in the off season that this is something that you don't want to do or you don't want to participate, I can, you know what I mean, I can get with that. But if you talking about the season just started on, April 5th, and now, you know what I mean, it's May 20th, and you like, yo, Dad, I don't even think I want to play. Nah, we're gonna finish this because you signed up for this.
You
And
want to
it
teach them also to finish what they started.
Yeah, you got you. There are things that I think comes with just being a part of a team, like in life. Like a lot of people, on one of these episodes that we had, we was kind of teaching people how to be supporters. I think we also got to teach people how to be team players. A lot of people don't even know how to be a team player. Like, yeah, like you got to be able to cooperate and achieve a common goal. And I think sports is like the ultimate thing that kind of can help youth and things of that nature. There was one other thing that you said that I wanted to address, and there was one thing that you kind of said that I wanted to address. And you was kind of saying that, people don't, oh no, that was you. You were saying that people don't want to be a boss, right? Like a lot of people just want to come and go to work. And I feel like,
Why not?
no. I feel like that's an excellent point because when I was rapping, you know what I mean? I forget the bar that I said. This was years ago, but it was like, damn, everybody a hustler. Who is the customer? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, yo, if everybody putting in work, then who is alive? Like, damn, like everybody can't be everything. If everybody is the rapper, then who is the consumer?
Right.
Like, it's no fans out here. So to your point, it's like, damn, someone has to be the employee. Like, we all can't be the business owners out here. Who you gonna sell to
But
if everybody the
is
business
that
owner?
Is that the mindset to be like if I wind up the employee?
That's life.
Should I go into it just aspiring to be the employee?
I think that's the
You know what I'm
definition
saying?
of. I think that's
And
the
it's
definition
okay.
of capitalism. Like you have to have clientele, and then you have to have people who are supplying.
No, and again, I think, I mean, you could call it that, but I call it complacency in general. Like, just in general, I think everybody in general is just pretty comfortable with where they, you know what I mean?
And
I
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It's like you said, if why not want to be the master? Why separate your time? You could just be the master at this, but it's like I want to be I want to play 5 sports, not one. Or You know what I mean? I don't want to be the boss. Like you said, I don't want to come in and do all the paperwork that it takes to be the boss. I know what it takes to be a boss. I don't want it. You know
Right,
I mean?
that's what I'm saying.
But
you had to, you might, you kind of have to be at all the levels sometimes to know which one you want to be complacent at. That's how I feel. Like if you didn't,
but you can't do that unless you, like you said, try some different stuff. You know what I mean?
So, because this analogy gonna create. Do y'all remember Mario, right?
Yeah.
Mario Brothers. You know what I mean? Nintendo
Yeah.
came out. So, because I'm gonna ask, did anybody ever like go through every board, or when you found how to beat the game in five tunnels, you do that now?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, do you remember that game?
Yeah.
You could go through and then you could play every board, but then you learn the shit like, man, I can get the level 8-4 in
through the
5
pipe,
tunnels.
exactly.
Go
Yeah.
through board 3, jump through this, and
Exactly.
then it's like, all right, so now do I take the long way, or do I beat the game with the shortcut?
it seems it was Street Fighter. Like I remember.
I think that's a very good point though, because when you trying to do, and they call this is like a whole genre right now. Like if you look
Yeah.
online, it's called like speed running. Like you're trying to beat the game as fast as like possible and stuff like that. But then you do have those people who's nostalgic that just you wanna get every coin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wanna break every brick.
That's called beating the game. You get everything that the game consists of at its capacity. Like you said, every coin, every animal killed for every point scored through the board. Like I know people who really would do that. I'm going back to
What
killing.
do we call those people who don't care for it? Like they go to beat it, but they ain't get every coin, hit every checkpoint. What do we call those people?
Because I mean I honestly feel like
I don't think they care about detail.
Listen,
Or do they? Like, nigga, I don't need that
them
detail.
people right there, as I think the majority of the people that we talking about. I think it's only a few, 2 out of every 10 gonna get gonna beat it.
Yeah.
And them
That's really
them
involved
bosses,
with
them the
everything.
mentalities, them the Brady's and the world.
But okay, all right. So, but you said that in our household, we all did that.
No.
Look, you see what I mean? Like in your household, you come up, you and your siblings do
No,
it.
but I kind of get what he's saying though. I kind of get what he's saying though. He's saying like you have to be wired a certain type of way to want to go out here and achieve and just to, like you said, pay attention to all of the details and get everything done. And that's the perfect analogy. It's like that mama mentality. Like it's not to say that the person who wants to find that easy way out is any less focused on his own greatness. It's not to say that, because if I can get through here at the less amount of time, you know what I mean, and still achieve what I'm trying to achieve, then that's dope too.
That's
you know what I mean?
dope-er to some people. Look, that's
Kyrie said on one of the podcasts, he said when he got to the league, he thought everybody was trying to like go to the Hall of Fame. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't realize like some people
just
happy
want
to
the
be
check.
in the
Yeah,
league.
yeah.
And that's okay.
That's the thing. You heard what his man said.
okay
His man said same. And I'm only gonna keep picking because it's Kyrie, right? And he a Jersey boy. You heard what Shump said. He said, "Man, y'all want to be the ones who want to play with LeBron."
Right.
Kyrie want to go at him. Like you got people. He said Kyrie like Kobe. He want to go at him. Like some people want to go at the best, so they can say they beat the best, or even. I don't need to play you if I lost Jordan 10 times, but when I play you, I'm gonna beat you 10 times.
So
Like,
I think, like you said, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that's just the majority of how we are. We just everybody don't want all the court.
I think that's a very,
we
very.
don't want all the court. We can beat the ball without.
I think that's a very interesting case out here, man. So, what kind of person are you? Are you the person that want to go through every level, or do you want to find a shortcut to get to your greatness? I think I think it's all types of people out here, and you know whatever you doing is what you doing. But to wrap it up and put a bow on it, complacency. It doesn't mean that you have to go out here and try to be the boss, because, you know, like I said, and I feel like we all agreed to, everybody is not going to be a boss. Everybody is not into ownership. But being complacent doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be the business owner, but it means that you're not satisfied. You may want to work on yourself. You may want to improve your reading. If you're not the best reader, you may want to improve that. That doesn't have anything to do with, you know, being the boss of somebody and all of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? If you got a car and you tired of going to these people and you giving them the money for oil changes, changing your brakes and things like that, you can get on YouTube nowadays. YouTube University. That's how I learned how to do all these cameras, all these lights, and all this stuff right here. You can teach yourself. So complacency isn't only about financial gain, but it's also about a mindset within yourself. And so I guess that's my last word that I'm gonna leave it with, and y'all can leave, you know what I mean, the people, whatever y'all want to hit them with.
Nah, yeah, it's all good. Just on that game analogy still, like, you know what I mean? Don't you know how you hit the duck on the step and get a lot of men to where it went the letters and shapes and you thought you had a lot of men and then you died and the game was over? Don't go too far overboard. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Like, you feel me? Like,
Absolutely. And with that being said, you got something for him?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, man. Yeah, that was your man. Every word holds value, baby.
Sir.